Welcome or welcome back. My name is Tab and I love to talk about books. Welcome to the fourth episode of my Read It and Return It series, which is just me getting out library books, reading them, and returning them. I'm not quite sure the lineup for the books. I'm looking at ones I have now. I have about 8 that are out from my library, so I'm going to kind of read them based on when they need to be returned. But I do know one book that I had left over and is due relatively soon is Tilt by Emma. I don't know if it's Pat, I'm not sure, but I'm going to say Emma Pate. And this is such an interesting concept for a book. So, the gist of what I got is that the present day is based in 24 hours. So, there's an earthquake that hit, and this is Annie, the main character's day during that earthquake. But throughout the book, there are flashbacks of Annie's life, and it's basically like a diary to her unborn child, like who she was, how she became to be who she is, how she met the father, things like that. So the book description says Annie is 9 months pregnant. She's shopping for a crib at IKEA. That's when the massive earthquake hits. There's nothing to do but walk. So that it's so interesting to me, and the book is it's 224 pages, so this is definitely something that I'll be able to read relatively quickly. So I'm going to start this one, and I will be back when I finish to give you my rating and my thoughts. So I'm a little bit over halfway through with Tilt, and I had to tell you guys this was one of the funniest things I've read, and I have no idea why. This is a quote in the book. The man I wanted to sleep with was Jacob, a tall, silky man with eyelashes you could hang your coat on. I damn near died when I read this. I have absolutely no idea why. Do you guys ever have that happen where you read a quote and you're like, why is that so hilarious? All I can picture is like, those eyelashes that like people put on cars on their headlights? I just think of like some guy, or where the girls get the fake eyelashes and they're just so big and bushy and just like hanging a coat on top. I have no idea, but I have been laughing for like 25 minutes, and I don't think it's really that funny. Maybe to other people it's not that funny, but to me, this is one of the funniest things I've ever read. I am back with my review of Tilt. Okay, so I just want to say I thought this book was going to be better than what it was. Now, everything about this book delivered until the end. I did not like the ending. I was not a fan at all. So I'm just going to throw that out there. I ended up rating this 2.5 stars, and there was no spice. So, okay. Annie, who's the female main character, she is 37 weeks pregnant. She goes to IKEA to shop for a baby crib. She realizes the crib isn't where it's supposed to be. She talks to someone in customer service. They're arguing back and forth, and then bam, a severe earthquake hits. This book is set in Portland, Oregon, and it goes over like the earthquake, but I guess this earthquake that's going to be completely devastating is something that is going to happen at some point in the future. Because you read the acknowledgments and it says My goal was to be as scientifically accurate about the impending Cascadia earthquake as possible. So I guess at some point in the future, there is going to be the Cascadia earthquake that's going to completely not demolish, but crumble Portland, and I'm guessing whatever cities are along that fault. This book is her walking, walking, walking to get to her husband. It's based in a whole day, and she is just walking. She's explaining everything that she's seeing, the looting, the destruction, the bodies, the families, the injuries, and she just keeps on walking. This book was written very realistically. Like, if you're a new mom, I feel like these are a lot of things you would think in your mind. And the book was really funny. I enjoyed this book so much until the ending. You have so many questions. It's like she explained all these characters and situations and then didn't deliver and explained what happened to these people or these relationships or situations. It was just like done. I did not enjoy that. I don't need everything tied up loosely, but it would be nice if she like kind of explained one situation. Um, but no. So I would pick this book up if you enjoy books where the whole book is just one day. It's related to like an earthquake survival story. It's under 250 pages. There's an unlikely friendship that forms, which was really sweet, but it does have an unsatisfying ending. So if those things don't bother you, then definitely, pick it up. The next book I'm going to pick up is Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen, and this one I can't wait to read. It says the invisible life of Addie LaRue meets This Is How You Lose the Time War in this fantastical and epic love story that defies death as two souls reincarnate through the centuries. So this is about two soulmates who they keep being reincarnated, but each one of them has to like destroy the other one. Evelyn can remember all her past lives. She can also remember that in every single one, she's been murdered before her 18th birthday by Arden, a supernatural being linked to her soul. The problem is that she's quite fond of the life she's in now, and her little sister needs her in order to stay alive. If Evelyn wants to save her sister, she'll have to find the centuries-old devil who haunts her through each life before they find her first, figure out why she's being hunted, and finally break their curse and try not to fall in love again. I think this is going to be such a great, like, magical, fantastical romance. I think it's going to be a sweet romance, even though the premise kind of sounds, grisly. And I love when the library gets like special, like deluxe edition of books. This like gold sprayed edges is so pretty, and there's like gold foiling on the cover. It's actually a beautiful book cover, and it's very simple, but these details make it so nice. So I will be back to update. I finished reading Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen, and I ended up rating it 2.75 stars, and there was 1 for spice. So this follows Arden and Evelyn, and basically they are soulmates tethered, like their souls are tethered for life. This book has multiple timelines, and it spans from 968 to 2022, and it's all the lifelines that they have been with each other. So their story is Arden and Evelyn, somehow they're reincarnated. Every time that they die, they're reincarnated into different bodies. It can be a male, a female. from different families. So it's not just Evelyn's reincarnated into a female's body and Arden into a male's. Sometimes it changes. So this book it's definitely like magical romance, but it also does have LGBTQ, because at some points I believe they're both girls, and at some points they're both males, and they have that like divine connection with each other. So the hook of it is, before their 18th birthday, one of them has to kill each other. We don't understand why. We find out kind of at the very end why they have to do it. And it just, something was missing from this book. I went into it, I thought it was such a, like, the writing was so beautifully done. It felt like poetry. It was just very like flowery, and it reminded me Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows, like that type of writing, that type of style. But the ending, I didn't care for the ending. I thought it was very sweet, but some revealing of plot twists just didn't seem really believable to me, I guess. I don't know. I wanted something different. It's not to say that the book was bad or I didn't enjoy it, because I did enjoy it. I just feel that it kind of went a little flat. There are, like I said, twists in this, which I didn't see coming. So I would say if you enjoy reading about like multiple timelines, countries, reincarnations, fated or soulmates, and you are looking to read a book that has LGBTQ in it, then I would definitely pick this one up. It isn't a long read. It's just very, when you're left wanting more, that's how I was left when I was reading this book. The next book I am going to pick up is Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. And this is the second book in the duology, The Shepherd King. I have been waiting to read this. I love finishing up series. This is 437 pages. It was published October 19th, 2023. But what is crazy is it has a 4.41 rating with 347,569 ratings. Whoa. So I am going to say this book is probably going to be absolutely amazing. There's no way that there's more than 250,000 ratings and it's above 4.4. So I am interested to see how this story is going to wrap up. Elspeth and Raven have gathered most of the 12 Providence cards, but the last and most important one remains to be found, the Twin Alders. If they are going to find it before the solstice and cure the kingdom of the dark magic infecting it, they will need to journey beyond the dangerous mist-cloaked forest that surrounds their kingdom. And the only one who can lead them there is the monster that shares Elspeth's head, the Nightmare. And he's not eager to share any longer. Okay, so just reading that description, it kind of brought back book one for me. And I don't want to really spoil anything in book one. I can't wait to jump back into this duology and finish it. So I will be back when I am finished, I guess. I think that's what I've been doing. I haven't really been doing midpoint updates unless it's been something like really crazy going on. So I will be back to update after I finish the book. I finished Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig, which is the second book in the Shepherd King duology. So I finished this duology and I rated it 3.25 stars and 2 for spice. The beginning, I almost DNF'd this book a couple times, not because I didn't enjoy it, I just could not get into it for whatever reason. It took me 4 days to read this book. That's the longest so far this year that it has taken me to complete a book. But once I got to part 3 in the book, I could not put it down. I finished it in that sitting. So it's very slow to start. It's picking up from where the first book ended, and it's pretty much like a hunt for the cards, good versus evil. There's a lot of like goriness to this. You find out about Elspeth and the Shepherd King and Raven and Elm and Ione, I think her name is. But what was really interesting about this book is I thought we were really going to get a deep dive into Elspeth and Raven, but they're kind of like the secondary characters in this book. Elm and Ione, I don't know, Ione, they are kind of the main characters in this book, and it's basically just their story and how their character arcs develop and the ending. And I thought it was really well done. I enjoyed the ending so much. I feel like some characters could have gotten a little bit more justice than what they've, received. But overall, the side characters really shined in this book. And it was nice to see certain people back together that they thought, weren't here anymore, I guess. This book was very whimsical, elemental, had very airy, magical vibes about it, with the forest and the trees and the water. It was really good. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did because literally 60% in the book, I'm like, I do not want to keep reading this. Something just needs to happen to hook me. And then part 3 came, I was hooked, and I was very happy that I ended up finishing it. So, on to the last book I'm going to read in this Read It and Return It episode, which I think is going to be my year of rest and relaxation. So this book I've had on hold for quite a while, and I can't renew the loan. So I'm going to have to read it. And it's relatively short, and this is the cover. And it's really interesting. I don't have my camera on my tripod. I'm holding it. So I'm going to have to try and figure out how to read this and hold the camera. Okay, I think I got it. A shocking and strangely tender novel about a young woman's efforts to duck the world by embarking on an extended hibernation with the help of one of the worst psychiatrists in the annals of literature and the battery of medicines she prescribes. So this is going to be very interesting to see. I mean, look at this lady on the cover. She just looks like she is not having it. So I think it's going to be very much like a literary, trippy, inside the mind type of book. And I think that's what I need after reading Two Twisted Crowns. So I will be back to update when I finish. I am here to update on my year of rest and relaxation. I DNF'd the book. I stopped at page 68. I just could not get into it. The main character, the female main character, she is nameless, but she is just so unlikable. I know that that's what this book is about. She's spoiled, privileged, but I just could not understand where the book was going to go. She is just like a rotten person who wants to be alone and should be left alone. She has she says she's not her friend, but it's her best friend, Rava. And she had a job. I don't know. Some parts of me wants to finish the story so I can see where the heck this goes. But what I got is this lady just wants to sleep. Like, she wants to try and sleep for 24 hours. Like, just let her take her meds and sleep for 24 hours. Like, what's the big deal? But clearly it's, mental health. There's more than just her wanting to sleep because she's tired. She sleeps she's like the front desk at a ritzy art museum. She goes to sleep in like the supply closet for an hour every day. Listen, I have no idea what I read. Like, I feel like I wasted a lot of time and I only went to page 68. Both of her parents have passed away, and both from, not super traumatic, very realistic ways that one of them passes away. But the way she describes it is like very gory. And her mom passed away from something that's like not common and is really sad. So I'm guessing she has a lot of like mental health related problems based on how her parents passed away, but they were pretty well off. She was left a house, an apartment, a good savings account. She never really has to work. And then she gets like an idea in her mind that she wants to sleep for like a month. She wants to sleep like forever. She wants to sleep more than 24 hours. So she meets a therapist she found in the yellow pages. And this therapist is super sketchy. I'm sure she's not board certified in anything because she said, you can't tell anyone about me if, the insurance company calls, like tell them this and that. You need to pay me before your visits, like a whole bunch of. Clearly, the main character in this book just wanted medications and knew where she could get them. And this therapist prescribes her like 10 different type of medications, but says, don't take them all at once. We're going to stagger them. I think this narrator like ends up taking them all at once, and then she lies about symptoms that she's feeling so that the therapist can increase her dose and give her more. Like, I don't know why this main character is like wanting to still be alive. I can't bring myself to finish this book because I'm just not into it, but maybe I'll go look at like some type of synopsis to see like does she want to unintentionally like pass away? I have no idea, but she has like rotten friends or one friend. It's just weird. Listen, if you like trippy books that are kind of like a fever dream, but they're going nowhere. It's just her complaining about how she doesn't need to work, how she's blonde, skinny, she's pretty, everything comes easy to her, and she just wants to sleep. And it's like her past, her present, I don't know. So take that as you will. Okay, so I am here to now recap the 4 books that I read in the 4th episode of Read It and Return It. The first book I read was Tilt. I rated that 2.5 stars, no spice. The second book was Our Infinite Fates. I rated that 2.75 stars with 1 spice. The third book I read was Two Twisted Crowns. I rated that 3.25 stars and 2 spice. And the last book that I attempted to read was My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I ended up DNFing this book at page 68. But as up to page 68, there was no spice. So thank you so much for taking your time out to watch my video, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye.